Welcome, dear listener. Take a deep breath in, and let it flow out slowly. Again, breathe in, and release. You are safe. You are calm. You are ready to journey far beyond yourself. Now, imagine the air is different, the earth beneath your feet softer, the horizon wider. The year is 1856. You are no longer you. You are me. You are Nikola Tesla. Feel the smell of wild grass drifting through the summer night. Hear the quiet hum of insects, the rhythm of nature, the heartbeat of a small village named Smiljan, hidden in the rolling hills of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, land that one day will be called Croatia. This is where you are born. This is where your story begins. The house around you is modest, wooden walls and simple rooms. Yet beyond these walls, a wilderness alive with secrets. The forest whispers. The river sings. And even as a child, you can feel it. There is something more, a hidden current flowing through all things. You sit by the stream. Hours pass. The water bends, twists, dances over rocks. To others it is only a river. But to you, it is a code, a message from the universe itself. You are only a boy, and yet you are already searching for the invisible. Your father, Nikola Tesla, is a priest, strict, serious, a man of faith and words. He wants you to follow his path, to walk the road of scripture and tradition. But your gaze drifts toward your mother. Jukomandic, uneducated, unable to read or write, yet more inventive than anyone you will ever meet. She crafts tools with her hands, small devices to ease the work of the household. She shows you that creation is not a matter of books, it is a matter of vision. From her, you inherit the fire of invention. And soon, you realize, you are different. Your memory is a mirror. One reading, and a page is engraved forever in your mind. A single poem, and you can recite it whole. But even more, visions appear before your eyes. Machines, entire mechanisms, born fully formed in the silence of thought. You test them, change them, complete them, all within your imagination. You do not need drawings. Your mind is the workshop. It is a gift, and it is a weight. The world does not see as you do. Other children whisper, strange, unusual, apart. And you feel it, your senses are too sharp. The brightness of lamps stings your eyes, the smallest noise crashes like thunder in your skull. Certain patterns, certain colors, make you faint. So you build walls of ritual. You count every bite of food before you eat. You refuse to touch hair. You fear germs long before science will name them. These are the small defenses that allow you to breathe within the storm. Now, imagine lightning. A storm splits the sky above Smiljan. Others run, hiding from the fire in the heavens. But you stand still. A white bolt tears into the earth. And in that instant, you feel it, the universe is alive. A single force connects all things. Electricity. This is the night obsession enters your soul. Time passes. You excel at school. Numbers bend to your will. You solve equations faster than your teachers can speak. You read with hunger, devouring books on nature, on science, on the mysteries of the world. And at 9 years old, you build your first machine, a small water wheel, turning with the current of the stream. It is not for praise, not for reward. You build because you must. Because there are questions that can only be answered with your hands. Years move like water. You are 11 now. Your family moves to the city of Gospic. The world grows larger, more books, more teachers, more demands. But with this growth comes conflict. Your father insists, theology, scripture, the priesthood. You resist, science, engineering, the truth hidden in nature. The arguments echo in the house. For your father, science threatens faith. But you know, to study the laws of the universe is the greatest act of reverence. To understand creation is, itself, a form of worship. And then, darkness. At 14, fever strikes. It burns through your body. Doctors whisper that you will not survive. You drift between life and death, visions swirling, voices, lights, patterns beyond comprehension. Your father, in desperation, kneels by your bed. He promises, survive this, my son, and you may study what your heart desires. You may be an engineer. And in the silence of that vow, strength returns. You rise. The pact is sealed. From then on, your fascination deepens. Magnets, fields, invisible forces. With scraps of iron, coils of copper, and sparks of imagination, you begin to touch the unseen. You realize, energy is not in the wires, but in the field. A thought that will change the world, though few can yet imagine it. At 17, you enter the Polytechnic Institute in Graz. A new world, a temple of machines, laboratories glowing with knowledge. And here you see for the first time a dynamo, Edison's creation, a machine of direct current. You study it with piercing eyes. It works, yet it is flawed. Sparks fly. Brushes wear down. Energy is lost. And inside you, a question burns. Must electricity always fight against friction? Must machines always waste what they are given? Night after night, you imagine something greater. A motor with no brushes, no sparks, no waste, only fields of energy dancing in harmony. You pace the streets, whispering formulas to yourself, eyes blazing with visions no one else can see. Friends worry. Teachers shake their heads. But you are already walking the path of the impossible. The years move forward. In Graz, at the Polytechnic Institute, you devour knowledge as if it were food itself. Days blur into nights. You read endlessly, mathematics, physics, engineering manuals. Books pile in your mind like towers of light. Professors marvel at your memory, your precision. Yet even as you shine, you burn yourself away. You sleep little. You eat less. The strain gnaws at your body, but still, you cannot stop. One day in class, your professor displays a motor of direct current. Behold, he says, a triumph of modern engineering. You rise from your seat. Your voice, calm but unyielding, it is flawed. The room laughs. The professor shakes his head. Impossible, he tells you. A motor of alternating current cannot exist. But in your mind, you already see it, the field that turns, the rhythm of invisible forces. You know. One day, you will prove him wrong. Yet brilliance is heavy. Debt creeps into your life. Gambling becomes a dangerous companion. Nights spent with cards and numbers, not for pleasure, but to test the edges of your mind. At first, you win, but then you lose. Money slips away. Books are sold. Hunger visits your table. And still, visions haunt you. Equations echo in your skull. The motor spins, always spinning, waiting to be born. In time, the walls of academia close in. You walk away from Graz. No diploma. No ceremony. Only notebooks filled with calculations no one understands. Your family is disappointed. The world sees failure. But you see freedom. The knowledge you seek cannot be contained by classrooms. You wander. In Maribor, you labor as a draftsman, tracing lines for machines that belong to others. Yet every free moment, you return to your true work, drawing the unseen engines of your imagination. Later in Prague, you walk among scholars, but as an outsider, only listening, never belonging. You speak many tongues, Serbian, German, French, English, yet you find more comfort in silence. And then, Budapest. The year is 1881. You join the National Telephone Company, repairing lines, improving transmitters, listening to the hum of electricity through wires. Still, the vision lingers. And one evening, as the sun sets over the park, it comes to you with perfect clarity. You take a stick and draw in the dirt, circles, arrows, currents. You explain to your friend what you see, a motor of alternating current, with a rotating magnetic field, smooth and silent. At last, the dream is no longer vague. It is real. You can almost hear it hum in the air. This moment, this vision in the twilight, will change everything. But Budapest is small. The world you need lies farther west. So you journey to Paris. The year is 1882, and you enter the Continental Edison Company. At last, the heart of electricity beats around you. Generators roar. Cables spark. Cities glow with Edison's lamps. You repair systems, design solutions, win admiration from your peers. You can sense every vibration, every flaw, every wasted ounce of energy. To others, you are a brilliant engineer. To yourself, you are still an exile. For even here, the dream of alternating current feels too radical, too far ahead. And so, you imagine America. A land of industry and invention, where risk is not feared but embraced. In 1884, with a single letter of recommendation, and only a few coins in your pocket, you board a ship across the Atlantic. The voyage is hard, your belongings stolen, your strength tested. But you endure. At last, you step onto the streets of New York City. The city hums like no place you have ever known. Carriages rattle, lights flicker, crowds surge. Somewhere in these endless streets waits the man called Thomas Edison, the wizard of direct current, the master of the present. And you, with nothing but your vision of the future, are ready to meet him. The streets are loud, alive, filled with smoke and horses and crowds that never rest. You carry almost nothing, 4 cents in your pocket, some sketches in your hand, and a single letter of recommendation. Yet within you burns something greater than fortune, the certainty that the future depends on what you carry in your mind. Soon, you stand before Thomas Edison himself. His face stern, his eyes sharp, already a legend. He listens as you speak of alternating current, of motors without brushes, of visions beyond his own machines. He does not believe. To him, direct current is the empire, the present, the power he already controls. But he sees your fire, your skill, your hunger. And so he offers you work, not to pursue your dreams, but to repair and improve his dynamos, his machines. You accept. Hunger leaves little choice. For months, you labor inside Edison's workshop. Endless days, endless nights. You redesign generators, remove flaws, increase efficiency. Even the senior engineers marvel at your ability to sense problems no one else can see. Edison himself, impressed, makes a promise. Redesign all my dynamos, make them better, and I will pay you $50,000. An unimaginable fortune. You give everything. You work with fever, sleeping only hours each week, eating almost nothing. At last, the work is done. The machines run smoother, stronger, more efficient. Proudly, you step before Edison and ask for what was promised. He laughs. Tesla, he says, you don't understand American humor. The words strike harder than any blow. The promise was a joke. The fortune dissolves into air. Your heart breaks. You see clearly now, Edison seeks profit, not perfection. He is the engineer of the present. You are the architect of the future. And so, with empty hands, you walk away. The days that follow are dark. No money. No work. You dig ditches in the streets, burying cables beneath the earth, your hands blistered, your stomach empty. At night, you sit on a bench beneath the street lamps, watching their glow, dreaming not of more wires, but of fewer. Not of heavier machines, but of lighter, invisible currents filling the air. You are an exile in a city that does not yet know your name. Yet fate watches. A colleague remembers your brilliance and introduces you to two investors, Alfred S. Brown, a director of Western Union, and Charles Peck, a lawyer with an eye for genius. You show them your visions, sketches of motors running on alternating current, systems that could power entire cities with ease. They listen. They believe. For the first time, you have a laboratory of your own. A space filled not with wealth, but with possibility. Here, you build with your hands what you had once only seen in your mind. Copper coils, iron frames, fields of energy spinning silently in harmony. And when at last the motor turns, smooth, clean, elegant, you know, the future has arrived. In 1887, the Tesla Electric Company is born. Your name now glows above the door. Machines hum around you. You conduct experiments not only with motors, but with resonance, coils, and sparks that leap like lightning across the room. To some, it is magic. To you, it is truth revealed. And in 1888, the world sees what you have built. Before the American Institute of Electrical Engineers, you demonstrate your motor of alternating current. Engineers and investors sit in silence as the machine hums without brushes, without sparks, without waste. The impossible, made real. Among the audience sits a man who will change everything, George Westinghouse. He sees at once what others doubt. This system, your system, is the key to lighting the world. He approaches you. He offers to buy your patents, $60,000, and royalties for every horsepower of your motors. You shake his hand, and with it, the future shifts. The year is 1888. Your motor of alternating current has found its champion. George Westinghouse believes. The patents are in his hands, the future within reach. Yet in the shadows, a storm brews. For Thomas Edison will not yield. He has built his empire upon direct current, and your invention threatens to undo it all. The newspapers call it the War of Currents. But this is more than technology. It is a battle of visions. Edison spreads fear. He tells the world, alternating current is dangerous, deadly, unfit for homes or streets. And to prove it, he goes further than anyone should. In public squares, animals are electrocuted with alternating current. Dogs, horses, even an elephant. The crowd gasps, horrified. Edison's men insist, this is Tesla's power, this is the danger. You hear of it, and sorrow fills your chest. To you, electricity is not death, but life. It is beauty, harmony, the spirit of the universe. Yet you do not fight with cruelty. You fight with truth. With demonstrations, with precision, with vision. And then, the chance to prove yourself to the world. Chicago, 1893. The world's Columbian Exposition. Millions of visitors will come. The city demands light, endless light. Edison's company bids for the contract, offering his direct current. But Westinghouse, armed with your system of alternating current, bids lower, promises more. Against the odds, the decision is made. The fair will be lit by your current. When the opening night arrives, darkness falls over Chicago. Then, with a single switch, the city blooms in light. Hundreds of thousands of lamps ignite, glowing with the silent hum of alternating current. The night becomes day. Fountains shimmer in colors. Towers gleam with radiant sparks. The crowd falls silent, breathless. Then applause, a roar like thunder. The impossible is here. You walk among them, tall and quiet, your eyes burning with a light of their own. On the stage, you demonstrate more. You let currents of high frequency pass through your body unharmed, glowing lamps in your hands as if they were stars. Sparks leap from coils, singing into the air. Wires vanish, and yet light appears. To the crowd, you are a magician. To yourself, only a servant of truth. From that night on, alternating current is no longer a dream. It is reality. Contracts flow. Cities begin to choose your system. Edison's empire weakens. The war of currents tilts in your favor. And then, an even greater triumph. The cataracts of Niagara. For centuries, the mighty falls have thundered, untamed. Now, engineers gather to harness their power. Many doubt it can be done. To send energy from such a place to distant cities seems impossible. Direct current cannot travel so far. But alternating current can. Your designs are chosen. Your motors, your generators, your vision becomes the foundation of the first great hydroelectric plant. And when, in 1896, the turbines roar to life, energy surges from Niagara all the way to Buffalo. Lights glow in homes, in factories, in streets. Nature's force, captured and given to humankind. The impossible, made real. The world looks upon you differently now. No longer only a foreign dreamer, but a prophet of the future. Newspapers write your name. Crowds whisper of your brilliance, your eccentricity. To some, you are a genius. To others, something more, almost supernatural. The war of currents is over. The world glows now with alternating current. Cities shine, factories hum, streets no longer vanish into night. My name spreads across newspapers, whispered with awe. Some call me a genius. Others call me a sorcerer. To the public, I am a man who tames lightning itself. But fame is not what I seek. My mind is restless. I am not satisfied with victories of the present, I long for the future. And so I begin to dream again, of energy without wires. A world where no cable binds us, where power flows freely through the very skin of the earth. I grow stranger to others. My habits perplex them. I avoid touch. I recoil at hair. I demand my hotel rooms in numbers divisible by 3. I wash obsessively. I count endlessly. To the world, these are oddities. To me, they are anchors against the storm of visions that never cease. And then, I travel west. Colorado Springs, 1899. The air is thin, the sky vast, the earth dry and waiting. Here, I will build a new laboratory, a temple to the thunder. The building is simple, wooden, with a roof that can open to the heavens. Inside, I assemble my greatest coil, a tower of copper and iron that hums with power beyond measure. When I switch it on, the night explodes. Bolts of electricity 20, 30, 40 feet long leap into the air. Thunder shakes the town. Horses fall, terrified. Telegraphs fall silent for miles. Neighbors whisper of the madman who builds storms. But within the chaos, I see order. Sparks leap in rhythm, vibrations echo in the ground itself. One night, I light lamps placed 30 meters away, without wires. They glow gently, as if touched by invisible hands. I feel it then, stronger than ever, the earth itself can carry power. The planet is not dead rock, but a conductor, a resonant body waiting to be tuned. I keep journals, pages filled with numbers, sketches of lightning, notes of signals I detect from the skies. Some say I imagine them. But I know. I am not alone. The universe speaks in vibrations. Perhaps from other worlds, perhaps from distant stars. Someday, humanity will listen. The nights here are long. I stand alone in the open air, lightning crawling from my machines into the heavens, my silhouette framed against a sky torn by artificial storms. I am not afraid. I feel alive. Yet even as I work, I know this is but a beginning. These experiments are only fragments of what must come. For I dream of something greater, a tower that will rise higher, a machine that will circle the globe with power and sound, a beacon of free energy for all humankind. It is the year 1900. You return to New York with journals full of visions, with photographs of lightning crawling across the sky, with proof that energy can travel through the air. You carry not only ideas, but certainty. The world must now see what you have seen. But to build the dream, you need power beyond machines, the power of money. So you seek an audience with John Pierpont Morgan, the titan of finance. He is a man of iron will, a man who controls railroads, banks, steel, electricity itself. Few can bend his ear, but he listens to you. You tell him of your tower. A structure that will rise like a needle into the heavens, taller than church spires, crowned with a shining dome. A machine that will send electricity through the very body of the earth, so that anywhere, anyone, may draw upon it freely. You speak of communication without wires, of voices carried across oceans, of a world united by invisible threads of energy. Morgan's eyes narrow. He is intrigued. He agrees to fund the project. And so begins the building of Wardenclyffe Tower, on Long Island's shore. The workers dig deep foundations. Steel bones rise from the ground. The dome grows, vast and heavy, a crown of copper and iron. To the world, it is only a strange tower. To you, it is the first beacon of a new age. Inside the adjoining laboratory, you fill rooms with coils, capacitors, resonant transformers. You pace endlessly, sketching designs on paper, then redrawing them in your mind, refining them, perfecting them. You dream of a planet where lamps glow without wires, where ships at sea receive signals from the shore, where entire cities are fed by a single heartbeat of the earth. But as the tower grows, so does suspicion. Investors murmur. Why give energy freely? Where is the profit in a world without meters, without bills? For you, energy is a gift of nature, as free as the air, as pure as sunlight. But for Morgan, and for those who control the world of business, it is something else, a commodity, a chain of power. Funds slow. Promises shrink. The tower stands, incomplete, waiting for the final spark. You walk its halls at night, touching the cold steel, whispering to it as if it were alive. You believe, with one more chance, one more burst of faith, the world will awaken. Yet already, the world begins to turn away. Rival inventors rise. New technologies appear. The newspapers, once filled with your name, now speak of others. And still, you hold fast. For in your heart, you know, the dream of free energy is not a dream at all. It is destiny. Wardenclyffe stands tall, its steel frame crowned by a vast dome. It should be the lighthouse of a new age. And yet, the money has dried up. Letters unanswered. Promises broken. J.P. Morgan, once curious, has turned away. Others whisper, why invest in a dream that gives power away for free? Investors demand profit. But you never sought profit. You sought harmony, abundance, a world where energy flows to all as sunlight does. To them, this vision is dangerous. To you, it is the only path. The newspapers, once filled with praise, begin to change their tone. They call you eccentric. They call you impractical. They call you a dreamer lost in fantasies. You walk through New York streets, tall and sharp, dressed impeccably, but inside, you feel the distance. Fewer friends, fewer allies. The world moves on, faster, louder, hungrier for machines that sell, not dreams that free. Years pass. Wardenclyffe is never completed. Its dome rusts. Its walls stand empty. And then, the order comes. The tower is dismantled. Steel torn down, copper stripped away. Your beacon to the future, reduced to scrap. You stand in silence as it falls. But even in loss, your mind does not rest. Ideas still pour forth. Machines of resonance. Weapons of vibration. Flying ships driven by invisible forces. Devices that could heal or destroy. To some, your notebooks sound like prophecy. To others, like madness. You begin to live more alone. You walk at night, feeding pigeons in the park, speaking softly to them as if they were companions. You dine alone, always at the same hour, always with the same rituals, 18 napkins, precise movements, perfect order. To the public eye, you are no longer the wizard of electricity, but a recluse, a man fading into the shadows of his own brilliance. And yet, you still believe. The world may not be ready, but the vision remains alive within you. You whisper to yourself, one day, the earth will sing with energy. One day, humanity will hear the music of the universe. The years turn into decades. New names rise, Marconi, Einstein, Edison still whispered in the streets. Inventions multiply, companies thrive. Yet you drift further from the heart of the world you helped to shape. You live in hotels now, small rooms filled with notes and sketches, cages for your beloved pigeons. Each morning, you dress immaculately, black suit, white gloves, polished shoes. Outwardly dignified, inwardly alone. You dine at the same hour, with the same rituals. 18 napkins. Exact measures. Numbers in threes. The patterns bring calm to the storm of your mind. People see you walking the parks of New York, scattering food for pigeons, speaking to them softly. One white pigeon, pure and luminous, becomes your companion. You say you love her as one loves another being, that as long as she lives, a part of your heart will shine. And when one night she dies, you feel that a light inside you has gone out too. The world calls you eccentric. Mad, some whisper. But now and then, recognition flickers. In 1917, you are awarded the Edison Medal, the highest honor of your profession, though to you, it is bittersweet, bearing the name of the man who once betrayed you. You accept with dignity, yet inside, you know true honor does not come from medals, but from truth itself. You continue to write, to imagine, to predict. Machines that fly without wings. Weapons of terrible power, able to end wars with a single vibration. Global communication, a wireless world. Many dismiss your words as fantasy. Yet in time, some will prove true. You are too early, always too early. The decades weigh on you. Your health wanes. Your fortune is gone. And still, your mind sparks with light, visions untamed, dreams unfinished. In your final years, you live at the New Yorker Hotel, room 3327, alone but unbowed. Then, January 1943. The silence comes at last. You close your eyes in your room, surrounded by the quiet hum of a city that no longer notices your name. No wealth, no applause, only the vast echo of your life's work. Yet death is not an ending. In that moment, you pass not into darkness, but into legend. Your name, once ignored, begins to rise again. People look back and see not only the man who fed pigeons in the park, but the prophet who lit the world, the dreamer who saw further than any of his time. You have walked a long path. You have been a child among rivers, a dreamer beneath storms, a man who lit cities, and a soul who dared to dream of giving light to all humanity. You have felt the brilliance and the loneliness, the triumphs and the losses. You have stood in the glow of 1,000 lamps, and you have sat in silence with only the beating of wings to keep you company. This was the life of Nikola Tesla. A life of vision, of beauty, of mysteries that still ripple through the world today. His inventions shaped the modern age. His dreams stretch far beyond it. And though he left this world in solitude, his legacy now burns brighter than ever. So rest now. Close your eyes. Let the hum of invisible currents carry you into sleep. For the spirit of invention, of imagination, of wonder, still flows through you. Good night, and may you dream, as I dreamed, of light.